If you're just now joining, my name's Josh, and this project is going to be amazing. Hey guys, what's up? So this is the official start of the Runway extension. Right here, this is the beginning, down towards the road. It kind of goes uphill, downhill, and up and back down again. Basically, I started this probably a couple years ago. Actually, I hired a guy to come in and master build services. He does concrete, but also does some excavating. He came in here. We basically took the first initial section of the trees right before the ditch back here, and we got that going, and then I got the logs cleaned up, and then just this summer I put in the culvert. My father-in-law helped me with that, and it is 60 feet. I do need to finish off the ends, and you know, that will make a difference once everything is all the way covered to the end. I bought an old excavator. It's 1970s, early 70s, maybe older, I'm not sure. I really don't have much information on it, but it is a P&H. It's about an 18-ton unit. So I purchased that, and we're going to be going all the way back. It's going to be 2,590 feet, something like that, roughly. It's going to be just shy of 2,600 because the property line does go obviously into the middle of the road. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm going to be building another hangar back in the southern part of the runway. The timing is probably not the best, but maybe it is for this time of year, for at least my schedule overall. It is getting cold, and it's going to make it a little more challenging, but hopefully this excavator will pull through and get everything done that I need to without having to do terribly too much work, too much downtime. We will find out. So what you'll see here is I have some drone footage of, you know, kind of the whole property where it goes back, and you can kind of see the whole layout, how it's going to look going back to the southern field there. So if you want to see this whole project kind of unfold, this is episode 1, and I will be sharing more on the excavator coming up after this. Right now we're going to go back into the woods, and we're going to kind of take a look around. We're going to walk all the way to the back to where I showed there with the drone, as far as the end of the property line, and just kind of navigate through and kind of look at some of the trees. Take a quick look at the excavator, and we're going to see if it starts up here in a minute. It is cold. It's probably about 30 degrees, but the battery has been pretty strong on it here lately, and I'm hoping that it will fire up and we can get it running, and maybe even take down a tree or two. If you're just now joining, my name's Josh, and this project is going to be amazing. So over here on the other side of the fence, basically there'll be I'm putting a drive there all the way down to where you don't have to go into the pasture here. This right here is primarily for the horses. My wife, call them her horses. She's had them before we were married, but you know, she has 3 horses, and this basically is the runway slash pasture. A lot of deer tracks here. Again, once I get the culvert here fully covered up and put some riffraff in there and kind of get the ends finished up, it definitely won't look as narrow. We'll get that true 60 feet here. Pretty small root ball, actually. So this is pretty damp back here in this field. The water table is up pretty high, so a lot of these starting out, they shouldn't be that deep. Should be fairly easy to get out. Tree right there, another tree back there, one there, obviously stomped, another one, and the biggest one I just took down, which is actually marked for a log Gonna be taking that to the sawmill down the road. So yeah, this is basically the official start of the woods. Got about 900 feet or so, I think, is what's left. I'm actually not sure how many trees there are. I will go through and actually count them because I'm really curious how many trees there are, and then kind of count them down as we go. So let's go back here and take a quick look at the excavator. Not too much. I will do next episode on that. It's a pretty cool unit, Detroit diesel, 1970s or earlier, and yeah, it's going to be cool. But right now, let's go back and just kind of walk all the way back to the end of what the runway is going to be, just shy of a half a mile. So like I said before, this is about a 18-ton unit. If you have any tips on this old machine, definitely let me know. Drop those in the comments. But so far, I have at least figured out how to get it to move around and at least get a few trees out. So I'm kind of getting the hang of it. All right, real quick, let's see if it starts up. Okay, so basically I flip on an external fuel pump here. Make sure the wire's connected there. Looks like it's good. I'm not going to crank on the starter too long, but basically I want to shoot some ether in the breather there. See if it fires up. If it does, I'll let it run for a few minutes before we walk back to the end of the runway here. Definitely need to get a new seat for this thing. Really don't want to get wet every time, and then obviously it'd be nice if it didn't move around. So here's the switch for the fuel pump. Okay, we can hear it. I'm gonna actuate the throttle a little bit here. Maybe. Pretty stiff. Okay, let's see if it fires up right there. Let's get a little ether here. Starter button's right here. A little more ether. If it don't go this time, I'm just gonna have to get a charger on it. One more time, just for the heck of it, I guess. Third time's a charm, right? It's going to be really cold here in a few nights. Just be down about 2 degrees, I think, is the low right now forecasted. So definitely wanted to get this thing running, knock down a couple more trees so I have some more groundwork to do, and then I'm going to pull the battery out and actually take it inside. So over here to the left, there is an old fence. We'll use that, obviously the property line, and I'm going to go over about 100 feet to the right. Actually, I think I'm gonna go 115. I have another 15 feet of clearing. That'll actually be for a drive. And some of the trees have been marked with the red paint, and that's a tree that's definitely on the list for the logger. So I think what I'm gonna do is just go back here to the left, and we'll follow the old fence. We'll follow it all the way back. That way we can kind of stay in a somewhat of a straight line here. Okay, so here's the fence. Okay, might have to kind of, guess we can kind of go back and forth and left and right here. Probably a cat. There we go, there's the fence. Okay, we're going to have to go to the right here and come back to the left. So if anyone has any guesses how many trees there are in 100 feet wide, 115 feet I should say, based on what you're seeing here, I would love to hear some guesses. So I haven't given it too much thought, but I don't know, I would say, I guess just a quick guess, since I've seen everything, my best guess would be 240. I don't know. Let's say trees that are at least 8 inches in diameter. All right, let's go back to the left here, see if we can pick back up on that fence. I was back here earlier this year though, in the summer, and I cleaned out a lot of the smaller trees and brush, so makes it a little easier to work and kind of get around. I think that's the fence there, yep, it's on that side of this tree. So let's go over to the west and just kind of walk the back of the line here. And all right, so the plan is to actually I think I see, I don't know if that's my mark or another mark from the surveyor, but we're gonna walk the back here and go all the way over to where the pin should be, and it's gonna go over another like 175 feet, I think is what I drew up. And that will be about I don't know if it's quite an acre, but a pretty good decent piece of section of land off to the west at the end of the runway here. And over there I'm actually going to build another hangar, and with probably a nice lounge apartment, not really sure exactly on that yet. So that will be later, hopefully, at least under roof. Maybe this time next year, we'll see, I don't know, but we'll see how this tree project goes. Well, I can still hear the excavator down there running, so that is a good sign. Okay, let's take a quick walk out here in the field. Okay, so this right here is basically the end of it, and I'll have a nice approach coming here. This is probably about a 2,000 foot opening going to the south, so I'll be able to kind of come in at a slight angle if I need to, and then have about half a mile basically from here all the way to the road. What do you think so far? Almost half-mile runway, old equipment, going into wintertime. Yeah, it's going to be awesome though. It's going to be a great adventure, and I'd love to have you follow along and let me know if you have any questions, or let me know something you see that maybe I should be aware of. I mean, I'm definitely open to that, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really awesome. So let's get up to the excavator again and knock a couple trees out of the ground. Teeth are getting pretty small. Actually, these don't have anything on them over here. Gotta get a welder back here and get some new teeth extensions, fingers. I don't know what you call them, but some more of those on the very end. Need basically on all 4 that's left here. So this throttle is basically frozen. I don't want to break anything. You can hear it kind of bog down if I try to do anything at this speed right now. And it's almost just going to die. It's not going to have any power to really do anything. Actually, let me step away from the excavator for a second. Looks like we got a visitor. What you doing, Meeks? What you doing, buddy? Okay, so hopefully you can hear me better now. So basically, I want to let the excavator run a little longer, and before I try to move the throttle quadrant in there, I definitely want to put some heat on it. I do not want to break anything this early in the game, so just got to nurse the thing along. So for now, we're gonna just let it run, and I want to let you also know I have a clipper, Piper clipper. You'll see there, quick drone shot there I showed earlier. Basically, it's getting a ton of work this winter, and I'll be working on that, pulling the wings off, doing restoration on the wings, putting a new firewall in it, building an awesome, huge engine upgrade for that thing, and it's gonna be awesome. Either way, inside, outside, lots coming up, and if you have any interest in any of those, definitely want to stay tuned, subscribe if you like. Either way, stay tuned, and be safe and be blessed. I will see you in the next one. Later.